Welcome, warriors, to the Joel 2 Army. I'm your host, Frank Ruiz, and this week's episode is Don't Get Offended. And we're going to look at the scriptures today, and it's going to be Luke chapter 7, verse 18. And now, the backstory is John the Baptist is now in prison, and he's sending a message to Jesus. And we know that even though he asks a very straightforward question, he's really asking a deeper question. So let's ask the question, and then we'll go into what the deeper question is. So, all right. So in John 18 and Luke chapter 7, verse 18, John's disciples told him about all these things, calling to them. He sent them to the Lord and asked, "Are you the one who is to come, or should we expect someone else?" When the men came to Jesus, they said, "John the Baptist sent us to ask you, are you the one to come, or should we expect someone else?" All right, let's stop there for just a second. It's interesting. John the Baptist knows who Jesus is. First of all, they're cousins. He's only 6 months older than Jesus. And he was there at the Jordan when he baptized Jesus and said, "This is the Son of God, who, the Lamb of God who's come to save the world." So it's no surprise or no secret that who this is. So what the question really is he's secretly asking a different question other than what he's saying. And of course, Jesus knows the real question that he's asking. He's basically saying, "Look, I'm in prison now. Things are not looking good for me. Are you the one who can help me out of this situation, or should I be expecting somebody else to show up and help me?" And so Jesus answers the question. And he says, "At this time, Jesus cured many who had diseases, sicknesses, and evil spirits, and gave them sight to many who were blind. So he replied to the messengers, 'Go back and report to John what you have seen and heard. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, and those who have leprosy are cleansed. The deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the good news is proclaimed to the poor. Blessed is anyone who does not stumble on the account of me.'" And I think that's the real key to the whole statement, is he throws that last little bit in there. Basically, he's telling John, "Sorry, John. I mean, I'd love to help you out, but that's just not going to be the way it's going to work out. I've got to do the job I've been sent to do, and unfortunately, that's not saving you." And he threw in that last little line, "Blessed is the one who does not stumble." Another way to say that is, blessed is the one who doesn't get offended because of Jesus. And it's important that he threw that out there, basically saying, "Sorry, I can't help you, and don't be offended." And if you think about it for a moment, there are many times people get offended, like God doesn't exist, or he's not real, or he hates me, and they just turn away. And in more practical issues, I've seen churches split because somebody got offended by, let's say, the pastor, or something that the pastor said, or something that someone else said, and then they want to do a church split, and they become very offended and start doing things to break things down. And the reason why it's important about that is because especially in this day and age, everybody is getting offended about everything. I mean, you can't talk about any subject without somebody getting offended these days. Isn't it true? I mean, think about it in your life. And it's certainly true in mine. I've seen lots of people. And there's one reason why you don't want to get caught up in the offense is, the Bible tells us we shouldn't be gossiping. And usually when someone gets offended, the first thing they do is they start calling everybody they know to let them know how they're offended about this situation, and basically want the other people to join in that offense. And these other people weren't involved, and yet they're becoming offended as well, and joining in. And the important thing about this is that when you take on somebody else's offense, you also take on their battle. And trust me, you've got enough battles of your own to deal with, to be taking on offenses. You don't need that additional struggle coming in from being offended. So my thing is usually when people have some kind of a big offense, I just let it roll off, and try not to get involved as much as possible, because I've got enough battles of my own to fight. I don't need to fight yours too. And oftentimes their battles are completely something that you don't want to get involved with anyway. It could be a situation of pride. It could be a situation they're being tested. Who knows? Just just don't get offended. Don't get involved, and stay on the course. And that would be the action item for this week: is stay on the course and don't get distracted by these little things, because trust me, it's all little stuff. Don't get distracted. Keep on doing what you're supposed to be doing. So remember, until next time, we'll see you, and God bless.